welcome back. So, I recently took a poll and I was asking you all if you would be interested in a style of video that's a little different than what I'm used to and what I've been doing. It's a kind of a news video where I just kind of let you all know of any content, any figures being announced. So, this week's actually kind of been a big deal. There's been several announces, and so I'm gonna let you all know about them for you that don't sit around all day checking up on the different forms of social media trying to look for new Godzilla figures. So the first one and the biggest one, in my opinion at least, is the announcement of Xplus's Bagan. I don't know if you've seen this figure yet. There's an image up on the screen for you right now, and I think it's an absolutely beautiful figure. It will be in the 30 centimeter line, and it's a must-have for any X Plus collector out there. It looks absolutely stunning. It's one of the best figures I've seen X Plus put out in probably this year. But this Bagon is by far the best thing I've seen them put out this year. Next up, we have a lot of stuff from Movie Monster Series line. They have been putting out a lot this week. We have the announcement of a Bagon as well. This is the second version that they've put out. This will be like a red color scheme variant, and I really like this figure. I think it looks better than the original version that they put out. I think it was like earlier in this year or late last year, and I think he looks really cool. I'm glad that the repaint isn't super lazy. It looks like an actually different figure. And whenever I saw the picture, I sat there and I'm like, is this a different sculpt? But I don't think it is. I think it's just the paint and the angle of the figure. But I'm glad that there's enough variation that I'm like, oh, this is worth getting as well. Next up, we have a 1974 Godzilla, I believe it is. And this one looks alright. I feel like we just got the 1975, and there's just not much of a difference between the two. So I don't know that this is necessarily a must have for you Movie Monster Series collectors, but if you don't have the 75, then I would recommend this figure. Next up, to go with this figure, actually, is Movie Monster Series announced, which is my favorite personal announcement that they've had this week, is a flying Mecha Godzilla. This is a figure that I'm going to for sure be buying. As soon as pre-orders go up, I will probably be buying it. I think it would go perfectly on my Mecha Godzilla shelf, which I'm a big fan of the show of Mecha Godzilla, so I'm very happy that this figure's coming out. It looks very good. It looks like it came straight out of the movie. The paint looks really well, at least from what I can see on the pictures. And it looks like a lot of time actually went into this figure, which is not always true with Movie Monster Series figures. So I'm hoping that, they took the time and they really worked hard on this figure. So next up, and the last from the Movie Monster Series line, is Cybot Godzilla 1984. If you don't know what this figure is, it's like the animatronic that was used in the Return of Godzilla, and it's a unique design. It looks very different from the actual 1984 that we're all used to, and I know that a lot of people do like this design. It personally isn't for me. I will be skipping out on this figure, but just in case any of you are interested, there's a picture above for you. I think that there are probably quite a few of you that are interested. He just recently got a release in Xplus, which I'm now noticing that Xplus and Bandai, like Movie Monster Series line, they seem to be putting out figures kind of at the same time almost. We just got Bagan from both lines. We just got Cybot Godzilla from the same, like around the same time from the different lines. And so that's just something that I've realized. It may just be a coincidence, but I do think it's a little weird there. And so next up, this is another one that I'm most definitely going to be buying. I'm not going to lie to you all. It's not even about the figure. I'm going to put the figure up here, and you can see it's not a great figure. It kind of looks terrible. But this next picture is going to be, you're going to see it and be like, oh, that's why. The box for this figure is like one of the best boxes I've ever seen for a collectible. It looks beautiful. The golden -1 logo. It's going right on my -1 shelf, and it's going to sit there looking real pretty, and it's going to stay in the box because that figure is atrocious. But the box is a must-have for me. I'm definitely going to be pre-ordering it as well, assuming I have the money for it. Last but not least, the most recent announcements is from Hiya. And actually, they aren't announcements. These are leaks that I just found this morning when I woke up that there is a Mecha King Ghidorah from Hiya coming up here soon. I believe we should be getting the announcement. I believe it's at Wonderfest that they're setting up for right now, as well as images of the Kong with his power glove on. I unfortunately couldn't find any pictures of it, but it does look really good in the video that I saw. I loved how the figure looks, and then the Mecha King Ghidorah, let me just tell you all, you can see up here on the screen, it looks ginormous. I don't know if Hiya was just like, we're going to go all out on this figure, but I think it's incredible that we just got a King Ghidorah, and now we're getting a Mecha King Ghidorah right after. It's truly incredible. So props to Hiya. I've been saying for the longest time that Hiya is, I mean, up there with the top 3 best companies in my opinion producing Godzilla stuff right now. Their GMK Godzilla and their Godzilla 2000 that were recently announced are just like top tier, some of the best figures I've ever seen that aren't hundreds of dollars. So Hiya is by far better than SH Monster Arts, and for sure is going to be surpassing them as like the main toy line for articulated figures here in the next couple of years. I have no doubt in my mind. One last thing for you all. So I just want to make sure it's known that like everyone knows that you can do this. So if you go to the Godzilla store and you go over here, go to news, and you will be able to do the vote for the next movie monster series figure. Just click on that. And I've already done my vote, so I can't do it again, I don't believe. But, oh, I guess I can. But yep, here it is. Here's your selection for all of the different movie monster series that are available. It's King Caesar, Des Ghidorah, Orga, Space Godzilla, and a flying form, Eternal Mothra Leo, Giant Condor, Mogira from the Mysterians, Dorat, Rodan, and Mechagodzilla 2 with the head controller. So I believe that I voted for the Mechagodzilla with the head controller. I just, like I've said, love Mechagodzilla, and I want a figure of him with the head controller without having to buy the Xplus version, even though I probably will. But yep, I mean, you don't have to vote for what I voted for. I just want you all to know about it. I want you all to be able to go and vote. Doesn't matter what wins. Hopefully not Space Godzilla. I just want to make sure everyone knows that everyone's going in here and voting, and we get a good figure. And yeah, just make sure you all go do that. I totally forgot about a figure coming up for you all. So we have a Bandai Premium Burning Godzilla that got announced that has light up features. It looks pretty cool. The sculpt isn't necessarily the greatest, but the paint job and the light up feature does look pretty cool from the images that we've seen. So that's all I got for you. It's going to be a fun end of this year, y'all. I hope y'all are excited. I know I am. I'm so excited for the 70th anniversary of Godzilla. I'm going to be live streaming all day long for that event. So I'll be live streaming. We're going to be going over any news that's announced. We're going to be watching any sort of content that comes out, all of us together. So make sure you come and watch that. It's going to be a good time. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next one.